Hello and welcome again to my channel, and you're also welcome to this episode, making it the third episode on Microsoft Excel. And don't forget, from our previous episodes, I've explained and introduced Microsoft Excel and what the main usage of Microsoft Excel, that is what it's basically used for. Microsoft is a very vast tool, and it can be used by all walks of life. Like, no matter your profession, Microsoft Excel is a very good tool to keep record for accounting and to also draw out spreadsheets. All right, so here we have so here we have a series of numbers, and we're just going to continue from number. In the previous video, I already explained what alignment is and some other commands that are not really in Microsoft Word, because most of these commands are similar to what we have in Microsoft Word. And those that are similar, sometimes when I just see a command, it's either two things that I will consider before explaining. If I've explained it before in any of my previous videos, that is in Microsoft Word, I wouldn't bother to re-explain. And another thing is, if it's for the advanced class, I wouldn't go into it, because Microsoft Excel as a software, it's a very vast software, so no one will be able to cover all that it entails in just 12 to 15 minute video. So if anyone is interested in going deep and learning Excel in the full stack, can just send me a DM, and then we'll have a one-on-one class. But basically, what I just do is do the peripherals and introduction, just basic knowledge of Microsoft Excel. Alright, so I'm just going to continue because of our time. So we have a series of numbers here, and from here you can easily choose any of these currencies to represent the numbers. So maybe you have a series of numbers, you already typed a series of numbers. You don't need to start putting in the currencies one after the other. Just with one click, let's say you want to use dollar or pound or euro, yen, any of those currencies, you just click on anyone. Let's say euro, for instance. You see, it just automatically applies it to all of it. And you notice something, I also added decimal point and added zero. So this zero can be adjusted. It's either if you want more zeros, you can add to it using this command. It will add to it to the right. And if you want to reduce, maybe you want it to have just 1 0 after the decimal point, you can also reduce. So everything is automated here. So let's say what you want to do is the currency the data or series of number is for dollar. The currency is in dollars, so you just have one click here, and then it will also change to dollars. So you see that automatically this place changed to accounting, this box here. So you can choose to change it to currency, which will make it look like this. You can also choose to change it to general, which will also return it to the default, which is Z. And you can also put it in percentage. You see that? So just one click will automatically, you can just tweak all of that and see the different changes that will happen to a set of data. What I'm just doing is just Ctrl Z. Alright, so moving away from there, we're going to leave this for the advanced class, and then we move to formatting. Formatting is basically the design of your table. Let's say you have a set of data in a tabular form, so you can choose to have a particular table format for it. So let's say, for instance, I want to use this, or just click on anyone. So it will ask you where is the data for your table. So if it is the area highlighted, don't forget I actually highlighted it before I went to click the format table. So you can just simply click OK. If you let me see, if you look into this dialog box, you see it wrote a set of code equals to cell D5 which is here. This is D5, this place, this particular empty cell. So that's why it puts column F11. So that is from here, which is D5 to F11. Don't forget, we already discussed what cells are, what columns are, what rows are. So I don't expect that this will be strange to you, and if it is, just go back to my previous videos and you will learn more about cells, columns, and rows. Alright, so you just click OK, and you see that it will automatically add the table. Now don't forget that in my previous videos I've explained that all these lines you are seeing here, all these cells, these lines, they are imaginary lines. They wouldn't print if peradventure you needed to print your document. The only thing that can print from here now is everything that is within this highlight, this selection. That's the only thing that can come out with cells and column. You see, every other part will not, because these are imaginary lines. So if you have your set of data and you've completed your work, you can always add a table to your work, so that if you when you print, the table can come along with it. If not, it will remain the way, just to the normal arrangement of numbers on empty sheet. Alright, moving away from that, there are several formatting. You can use light, medium, dark. Let's try it one more before we go. You see that? So you can, and the moment you click on the table, you have different commands to format it. We're still going to come to that by the time we get to insert. I'm going to explain how you can format your table, which I've also done too in Microsoft Word during the class in Microsoft Word. So I may not really dwell much on it as well. So, but if you go to my previous video on Microsoft Word, you see how to edit your table. It's very, very similar. If you understand that very well, you can apply the same knowledge to this, and you'll be able to do it very effectively. The editing of the table. So moving away from that, because of our time, we have insert. So let's say you want to insert cell. Don't forget, you already know what a cell is. A cell is the point of intersection between a row and a column. So if you have a row, this is row 4, and this is column C. So this particular point is a cell. That is the point of intersection of column C and row 4, and the name is C4. So you clearly see it from here, name box. So the name of this cell now is C4. If I click somewhere else, you also see the name C6. Here, H5. Just anywhere randomly, you see J13. So that's the name of the cell. So let's say we want to insert a cell there. You see now? So it will just shift the cell downward. Let's see what it was before. So the cell is F7. So by the time you click on cell, it will automatically shift it, and it will just give one shift, and then there is an empty cell there. So maybe what you want to insert is a row. So let's put this here. I'm just clicking on this because it has a digit, has numbers that we can use to identify it by the time it happens. So let's say you click on insert sheet row. See that? So it will shift it down and insert a row. That is, let's say you are working on a set of data, and maybe you mistakenly skipped one row from your manuscript. You can easily just put your cursor on one of the cells and shift the row downward, and by that it will create a new row, either above or below. It depends on what you want. If you look at this place, you see shift rows, rows above, shift. Okay, let's do this. Let me just click here and then so it will now show shift cell right, shift cell down, entire row, entire column. So whatever it is you want, if you want it to be shifted up, you want it to be shifted down. If you want to add a column in between G and H, you can also do that entire column. Let's look at the entire column. You see that? So there is a new column now in between G, but it has already named it. If you look at it, the thing actually shifted, but because there is no content on it, okay, let's do for this column so that you can see it clearly. So, so you see that? You see that? So because where I did it before, there is no content. That's why you hardly see the difference. So now that I've clicked on, you see it automatically even updated the column. It's named it column 2 instead of the column. Instead of it's added column 3 and named the previous column 2 instead of where it stopped before column 2. All right. So you can also delete. You can delete cells. You see that? You can delete row. You can delete column. You can delete rows. See that it has deleted that row. So that is that. Now another thing is that you could have AutoSum. You could have some commands, and this is a little critical because from here now we must start writing just little codes. Like for instance, now you can see here I have the first command, mathematical operation. This one is sum. That is, you see that, notice that when I was going to highlight, I highlighted and created a space, highlighted an empty space to include the entire selection, so that it is inside this empty space that is going to put my result. For instance, if I just click sum, sorry, let me just do it on an empty. Let's try this. Maybe there is a initial command there. That's why it did something else. So, but normally it's supposed to give us, you see that. So that's one thing about Excel. So there's probably a command that is already existing in that column, so it will not be accurate. So you see now, so if you add from 9 to 9 here, it will definitely give you 47. And that is the detail. That is the function of this sum. Another very, very interesting thing is that if peradventure you change any of this, maybe let's say I change this to 12, it will automatically adjust the result because there is already a program on this cell that whatever is in H6 to H12 should be added, so it will definitely add it. So if I change this, it will adjust automatically. That's just the truth. So if I change this to 66, for instance, once I move out of the cell, it will adjust the answer to. So what if I remove this 12 to also adjust the answer? And what if I add 44 to also adjust? So that's just it about. So you can also play around the other ones. You have average, you have count numbers, maximum number, minimum number. So let's say we have this. Don't forget, we do copy and paste. We already did it in our previous. I'm also going to paste it here. So what I'm going to do now, you see this ant-like movement. If you want to remove this, you just press the escape button on your keyboard and then it goes. I'm already beyond schedule, so I'm just going to rush this up. So let's say you want to do another mathematical operation on this. You come to AutoSum and do average. So the average of 66, 7, 4, 5, 5, 4, 44, and 9 is 20. You already know what average is now. So when you add all of this and divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and divide by 7, you have 20, which will give you the average. Now, let's say we have this combination of numbers and we want to have a count or the maximum number here. So, what will give us the maximum number? Maximum number is 66. That is, 66 is the greatest number in this. So you can just play around the remaining command. Minimum number, more. You can go to more functions. Just play around the commands we have there. You can also do a count on the numbers you have there. So I really don't want this to exceed 15 minutes because basically we're supposed to end each session at 12 minutes. So I'm just going to conclude this section on this at this point. So I'll see you around in the next episode where, if you ask me, I don't know when. I can't tell when exactly I'm going to come around again. But I promise you, as soon as I can, I'm going to show up and bring to your view more amazing content for learning, and then we'll move forward together. Thank you so much for sticking around. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.